Most people spend years trying to understand others and still get betrayed, manipulated, and blindsided. But the most dangerous minds in history, the strategists, the rulers, the untouchable, they could read a person completely within moments of meeting them. Not because they were gifted, because they knew exactly what to look for. Today, I'm going to show you what they saw. 8 signals that reveal everything about a person before they speak a single word. By the end of this video, you will never look at another human being the same way again.
Carl Jung once said, "People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls." What he meant was this: most people are performing. Every gesture, every expression, every micro-behavior is a window into what they are hiding. The trained eye doesn't listen to what people say. It watches what they cannot control. That is the foundation of reading people, and it is older than psychology itself.
Watch their eyes, not their words. The eyes are the only part of the human face that cannot fully lie. Prolonged eye contact during a question signals confidence or dominance. Broken eye contact to the left signals internal fabrication. They are constructing something. Broken eye contact to the right signals memory. They are recalling truth. Dilated pupils signal genuine interest or fear. Constricted pupils signal hostility or disgust. You are not reading a person's words. You are reading their nervous system.
Watch how they enter a room. The moment a person walks through a door tells you everything about their relationship with power. Do they scan the room immediately? That is situational awareness, a sign of strategic thinking or paranoia, depending on context. Do they walk to the center? They crave visibility. Do they move to the edges? They are observers, often the most dangerous people in the room because they are studying everyone while no one studies them. Machiavelli understood this. The prince who observes in silence always knows more than the one who performs at the center.
Listen to what they brag about. What a person chooses to brag about reveals their deepest insecurity. The man who constantly mentions his money fears being seen as worthless. The man who constantly mentions his intelligence fears being seen as stupid. The woman who constantly talks about how unbothered she is deeply bothered. People advertise what they most desperately need validated. Once you understand this, every conversation becomes a confession. You stop hearing what people say and start hearing what they need.
Watch how they treat people below them. This is perhaps the most reliable signal of character that exists. How a person treats a waiter, a driver, or a subordinate reveals who they truly are when power dynamics are removed. The cruel become kind to those above them and cruel to those below. The genuinely powerful treat everyone the same because they have nothing to prove. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations that a man's character is most visible, not in his victories, but in his small, unobserved moments. Watch those moments carefully.
Study their relationship with silence. Weak people are terrified of silence. They fill every pause with noise, nervous laughter, unnecessary words, over-explanation. Powerful people are comfortable in silence because they are comfortable in themselves. When you go quiet in a conversation and someone immediately rushes to fill the space, they have just handed you control. Watch for this. The person who cannot sit in silence cannot sit with themselves. And a person who cannot sit with themselves will always be easy to manipulate through distraction and noise.
Notice what makes them react. A controlled person is difficult to read, so the ancient strategists used a simple technique. They provoked. Not aggressively, but subtly. A mild challenge, a quiet disagreement, a moment of indifference towards something they clearly care about. The reaction that follows is unfiltered truth. Anger reveals insecurity. Laughter reveals comfort. Silence reveals calculation. Withdrawal reveals fear. You learn more about a person in one moment of provocation than in 100 hours of polite conversation. Seneca wrote, "Throw me to the wolves, and I will return leading the pack." The reaction under pressure is the real person.
Watch their hands. The hands are the second most expressive part of the human body, after the face, and most people forget to control them. Open palms signal honesty and openness. Hidden hands, in pockets, behind the back, under the table, signal concealment or discomfort. Self-touching gestures, rubbing the neck, touching the face, signal stress or deception. Steepled fingers signal confidence and authority. These are not theories. They are neurological responses so deeply embedded in human behavior that even trained liars cannot suppress them under sustained observation.
Listen to the stories they tell about their past. Every person has a narrative they tell about their life. Pay attention to who the villain always is in their stories. If every ex-partner was crazy, every boss was corrupt, every friend betrayed them, the common denominator is them. Not always, but often. The person who takes no responsibility in their own story will take no responsibility in yours. The person who speaks of past pain with wisdom rather than bitterness has done the inner work. The person who is still performing their old wounds is still living inside them. Carl Jung called this the shadow, the unexamined parts of ourselves we project onto others. Most people never examine it. You now know how to see it.
You have just learned what took the greatest strategists, philosophers, and psychologists centuries to articulate. Eyes, entrances, bragging, treatment of others, silence, reactions, hands, stories. 8 windows into the soul of any person you meet. Use this not to manipulate, but to protect yourself, to see clearly in a world built on performance and illusion. Marcus Aurelius built his entire philosophy on one principle: see things as they truly are, not as they appear. That is the inner citadel, the unshakable clarity that no one can take from you. If this video gave you that clarity, subscribe to the Inner Citadel. More is coming, and it will go deeper.